В лагере нас уже ждет поход новая записка от Орин. Благодаря тебе от Железного трона тирана остались лишь руины на дне залива, от пленников, которые в нем держали только кровь морской пени. Еще много лет рыбаки здесь будут вылавливать сочные кусочки гномьей плоти, чтобы украсть им свои блюда. Ну, не будем ей говорить, что это не так, но ладно. Ты хорошо сеешь семена хаоса, как блитовцы, смотря как рассыпаются на кусочки их позолоченные стражи, как дрожат они, видя, как рушится храм тирании Лордыша прямо на их трупы. Время настало. Без своих безмозглых манекенов Гордаш слаб. Убей его, убей его, убей, убей, убей. Ну да. Убью. Чуть попозже. Блин, это тут все еще тусит.
Your mind tingles as it opens to Will. He learns of Mazora's meddling and Floric's tale of the dragon Ansur.
Curse that rotten devil and her forked tongue, trying to set Floric against me. She's a damnable inferno of chaos. What matters now is that Floric saw sense, and we know our path forward. We'll finish what my father couldn't. We'll awaken Ansur, the heart of the gate. O Baldurin, founder due veneration. His guardian dragon Ansur, tremendous in worth. A savior below, our eternal elation.
Потрясающая легенда. Что ты об этом думаешь?
It's not just a tale, it's a history. Consider this. To Wormway 'neath prison's deepest level. That must mean Worm's rock prison. That's where we'll find the entrance to this Wormway. Then this. With the shock of a true hero's spark flickers, the torches are light, and Worm's eyes shall awake a glitter. To open the way, we'll need to spark torches. This dragon Ansur was Baldurin's ally. We'd be fools to let him sleep while the dead three's chosen raised the city.
Так, ты что делаешь до сих пор? Коза.
I bet you're pleased with yourself. Saving Ravengard and making a fool out of me in a single
Заслуженно, я
swoop.
считаю.
Go on, do your gloating. You've earned it.
Ха.
Damn right I did. My father is safe and my chains are broken.
Здесь точно где-то кроется подвох. Сделка есть сделка, верно?
Indeed. A bargain's a bargain. And the man who skirts a sworn pact is living on borrowed time. For now, you've tipped the scales in your favor. But all it takes is a whisper for me to tip them back.
Попытаться проникнуть в ее мысли.
Ravengard will fall. I will strike when the Duke has the most to lose, and I have the most to gain.
Я знаю, ты еще к нему сунешься. Попробуй, я опять его спасу, и заодно и тебя прикончу.
Clause A, Section 2. Should Soul Holder choose to abandon his patron, he is freed from his duty. His father, Grand Duke Ulder Ravengard, will be thus fated to die by an enemy's hand. A sealed pact is mightier than even Asmodeus's ruby rod. Do you think by merely saving a duke that you were ripping it through? You're such a witless little thing. Laugh in the face of the Archduchess Zariel, and she only laughs back. By all means, struggle and seethe when I come for Zariel's prize. Play the hero. Put up a fight. But don't forget who signed away his own father's life when Ravengard's finally bled.
Ой, пошла вон. Я и тебя, Изарель, прикончу, гаденыша.
First you cleave my heart in twain, now you shatter it to pieces. My son, a monster, twisted beyond recognition. To think my blood flows through those
Слышь, ты чё,
veins.
дед?
Is this my fate? To be freed from Gortash's hell, only to be trapped in yours?
It isn't what you think. It never was.
You turned your back on me, on your city, to chase the she-devil and her power. She stinks up the place even now. It is exactly what I think.
Давайте попробуем соединить их паразитов.
Ravengard's tadpole clenches as your memories and wills flow into him.
My tears wounds. I'm in your mind.
The Grand Duke sees Mizora and her infernal sisters. He sees the agony in Will's face as an impossible choice is set before him.
No. My son.
The past becomes present, and Will's thoughts are laid bare. Ravengard sees Will partnering with Mizora to defeat Tiamat's cultists before they could lay siege to Baldur's Gate, and he sees everything beyond. The Nautiloid journey, the perilous path to Moonrise, the astral prism, and the Emperor within.
Will.
Everything I did for Baldur's Gate. I did for you.
Ну, это правда. Уилл всегда был преданным защитником врат Балдура.
My son. You sold your soul to save Baldur's Gate, and I cast you out for it. You gave yourself to the hell's eternal fires so I might walk free. By the gods. Can you ever forgive me?
There's nothing to forgive. You wanted to protect the city. I only ever wanted the same.
You are a better man than most, and a better son than I deserve. I'll yet make amends, but my duty is first and foremost to the city and its people. There's something I must ask of you.
Ну, окей.
Before I was captured, I was on a mission. Returning from Elturel, I discovered the plans of the absolutists. I immediately realized the city couldn't defend itself against such an army. I didn't despair, because the city has a secret guardian, a worm that sleeps beneath. He can be called upon in times of great need. This is such a time. You've been trained in the ways of the great champions and proven to be one of them. The worm will answer your call. You must seek him out.
Ну, это мы уже у Флорик спрашивали. Ну ладно. Под городом живет дракон?
A bronze dragon, yes. He sleeps beneath us even now, awaiting a hero to rouse him. The worm goes by many names.
Они как будто это заучили вдвоем.
The waiting storm, the heart of the gate. He promised Baldur he'd protect the city if ever its existence was threatened, but just the once. Since then, the city has faced countless threats, but we always overcame. There was never a need to call on the worm. Until now. The Absolute is the greatest threat Baldur's Gate ever faced. The worm must be awakened, and the task falls to you. Take this. The legend of Ansur. An ancient epic. Ill-remembered. Dismissed as a mere tale. Let it set the path before you.
Ты веришь Уилла, и это правильно. Мы отыщем змея и призовем его на помощь.
Thank you. And may the city know the truth of my only son. Pride of Ravengard. Pride of Baldur's Gate.
We'll finish what my father couldn't. We'll awaken Ansur, the heart of the gate. O Baldurin, founder due veneration. His guardian dragon Ansur, tremendous in worth. A savior below, our eternal elation.
Потрясающая легенда.
It's not just a
Мы это
tale.
уже слышали.
Consider this, then this. This dragon Ansur was Baldurin's ally. We'd be fools
Ты
to let
вновь
him
обрел
sleep
отца,
while
ну
the
и
dead
как
three
она себе?
chosen. It's complicated. There's the joy of reconciliation, the relief of forgiveness, and the anxiety of new expectation. It's a flurry of emotion. I'm not sure how to make sense of it.
Ну, сосредоточься на радости. Ты восстановил семейные узы и возродил ту связь, которая между вами была.
Joy. To my father, I was only ever a boy. Incredible that he can see the man I became. Once all this is ended, once we've crushed the brain and freed the people, I could once more call Baldur's Gate home. Whether I return there, well, only time will tell.
Мизора, вали отсюда. Ты мне тут не нужна.
The Absolute's voice is gone, but I still hear its echoes. Reflections of reflections.
Советник Флорик будет счастлив услышать, что ты жив и здоров.
Hell's Floric. While the Absolute commanded my mind, I condemned her to death and confined her in Worm's Rock prison. She stood by me even as the Hell's fires lapped at my feet. You must free her.
Так она уже на свободе и прямо сейчас собирает союзников.
Tremendous news. She proves as loyal to you as she is to me. I couldn't bear it if she died by my command. May the Triad guide her steps.
Как тебя поймали сектанты Абсолют?
I was returning from Elturel. My traveling party stopped at an inn, Joaquin's Rest, to lay our heads. It wasn't the heat that woke me. It was the scent. Cultists had set fire to the place. I don't remember being taken. Just the smoke burning my throat before I fell. I awoke in Moonrise Towers, inside one of those damnable pods. The rest goes without saying.
Ну да. А зачем ты ездил в Натурель?
A complicated one. I went to greet Elturel's High Overseer, only for the Archdevil Zariel to drag the city into the Hells. I've been touched by Avernus, been a plaything for demons. A tale for other places. Other days.
Окей. Я читала легенду об Ансуре. Что ты об этом думаешь?
It is no legend. Ansur does sleep beneath the rock and will come to the city's aid when it is in need. He is oath-bound to do so.
Окей. Ну что, пойдем туда поспим, и как всегда я все разгребу и отправимся дальше. У нас на очереди, наверное, Казадор. Пойдем его мочить.
Jahira, Boo is trying his best to explain, but I still do not understand your anger.
Do not hide behind your hamster, Ranger. You do not understand because you do not listen. We were the first to discover the cult. And if you had only waited, we might have marshaled our numbers and...
Good does not wait for evil to button up its breeches. When it offers buttocks for the smacking, Minsk and Boo greet cheek with hand.
This mess falls on our heads, Minsk. The city under siege, its people poisoned by the cult. It all might have been avoided if you had just put your feelings aside and listened.
Это единственное, кого он слушает. Не забыла?
You mean the doppelgangers? It is no comfort to me that my face made this fool all the easier to lead. The point remains.
Минск такой, что я дурачок,
You
что
meant
ли?
well, Minsk. But you exposed the city to harm. You helped the cult spread. And worse, perhaps than any of this, you forced me to leave you behind.
But this is where Minsk falls short of the understanding, Jahira. What else is a berserker for, if not to charge into danger ahead of his Waklaren?
The Wicklaren, wise women of Rashomon, each bonded to a berserker bodyguard for life. There is no higher title nor deeper bond in all of Rashomon custom.
Wicklaren? Minsk, I am not your witch. You are not my bodyguard. This is not some high lodge of your homeland.
Boo agrees you're a queer kind of witch. But this city is a queer place. And Minsk, you may have noticed, is sometimes strange himself. The titles matter not. Only this. When Minsk does as Minsk does, and charges in to make a mess, Jahira does as Jahira does, and finds a way to save us all anyway.
Звучит даже как-то мило.
Oh, I fight alongside fools.
You hear that, Boo? We fight alongside the Waklaren again.
I am your friend, Ranger. I am not your witch. There will be no ointments or healing balms.
Not even for Boo?
Какой он вообще глупенький. Ну, как будто, ну ладно, он не глупенький, но такой странненький. Будто ему голову отбили. Ой, малыш, а что такое? Стой, 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 стой.
The dog wags his tail, a small bag clenched
Давай,
between his
что там у
teeth.
тебя?
He gives in and surrenders his
Железная
find to
чаша.
you.
Здесь мы вообще.
Scratch's tongue lolls out happily. His tail.
Так, железная чаша. Вообще я хотела отпустить Джахейру. Мячик с краба. О! А зачем? Я нее заберу. Потом все это раскидаем. Отпустить Джахейру, чтобы взять с собой Shadowheart. Вот, потому что мы сейчас следом пойдем, наверное, по личному заданию Астариона и Shadowheart. Хочу их закрыть уже.
I think you might have made a terrible mistake. Huh? Chasing rumor halfway around the city and back. Crossing the guild. Wading through filth. Defying the one creature upon whom your very life depends. All for a madman and his rodent. It was no mean feat to make nice with the sourest puss in the city, by the way. It took years for Estelle and I to trust one another. The Absolute threatens thousands, the entire coast. And still you risked much to help one man. I should berate you. But I can only say thank you. Your reasons were your own. But whether you meant for it or not, Your fight is our fight, huh? Both of us. To the very end.
Какие-то все варианты очень... Давай без сантиментов, орфистка.
Those misty eyes are just age. Yes, I feel myself growing older as we stand here. So, lead the way. We're yours to command.
Так, еще раз по поводу свитка.
If you wish. It's possible I was a little too quick to judge. A little too caught up in ceremony. It is a ritual, or it describes one at least, practiced by druids of certain esoteric circles. If they be learned and powerful enough, the practitioner of this ritual might slow their aging, extend their life well beyond its natural reach. In greener days, I might have been strong enough to do it. I might be yet, with the right preparations.
И что, любой может воспользоваться этим свитком?
Any druid. So, yes, you might aspire to it if you wished, but the scroll is not the ritual itself. Only part of my research into how it is worked. Do not look at me like that. I have been content to see the span of my natural years. A privilege far too few in this world can claim. I do not speak of clinging to life for its own sake, I just look back on that life's work and I wonder, is it done? The dead three plague the world still. The city still falls prey to small minds like Gortash or lost souls like Orin. It is every harper's hope to be a light that drives out darkness. But I've lived long enough to see so many of those lights burn out, while the shadows cling stubbornly on. Knowing that, isn't it our duty to burn on if we can? To fight for as long as we are able?
Ну не бери на себя слишком много, никто не сможет починить этот мир в одиночку.
Well answered. In truth, I had put this ritual from my mind. Until last light. Trapped in that darkness, I turned to my research again. What if I was a little stronger? As fast as I once had been. Then you came and made the question moot. But I kept this, just in case, I told myself. A final resort. Perhaps you were not the savior you seemed. I had learned better than to think of life as some simple tale after all. There is no guarantee of happy endings, or true heroes. I believe that still. But when I look on all that we have achieved since, I wonder perhaps it is not heroes we need. Only people who are willing to try. I do not know what manner of story that makes. But I do know that without an ending, it would be no story at all. So I will accept mine. When and however it comes. As for this city story, well, that is entirely your problem now, Cub.
Ну, вообще-то большая честь, наверное, для нас.
Do not thank me for slinging a weight around your neck. I might start to feel bad. I do mean what I say. But I am also a harper. In every honeyed word, there is a hook. But I do not plan on going anywhere just yet. And besides, you still have a tadpole in your skull. You are almost certainly going to die first.
Ну, спасибо, Джахира, спасибо. Так, вообще хотела тебя
You sure?
оставить тут. Да, я уверена.
Later then. I tell you not to get in trouble, but
Да, они сами меня найдут, действительно. Так, мой малыш. О, моя радость. Мое солнышко.
My friend, now we have settled the matter of the guild. I fear there is something I must tell you. You and Boo both. It may shock you both to know, but Minsk and this Stone Lord, they are one man. The same one man. And that same one man is Minsk.
О нет, какой ужас, не может быть. Вообще, мы в курсе, ты пытался меня убить и неоднократно.
Never has Boo been more proud of my failures. I wish to believe the Stone Lord's evil was the worm alone, attainting my thoughts with foul dung. But I see now, the dung was within Minsk all along. So I wonder, if Minsk can be a villain, and Nine Fingers a hero, must it be so with all creatures? Is there good and evil within us all? Boo calls this nonsense. Less thinking of bad thoughts, says he, and more breaking of bad bones. But still, I would hear what you have to say on the matter, my friend.
Но в каждом из нас есть что-то доброе, просто в некоторых оно запрятано уж больно глубоко. Или настолько, что его уже не достать.
It is strange. A worm sits within my skull, twisting my thoughts. But it is you that have made Minsk see the world anew. You, my friend, are the true parasite. There is good and evil in all. Let us go crack villainous skulls, so that the virtue might leak free. Yes, Boo. I am becoming something of a philosophizer.
Но мы едва познакомились, и ты уже зовешь меня своим другом.
Of course, my friend. Or are we not friends?
Конечно, мы друзья.
Then you have a sword at your side and a hamster at hand, whenever you need them. Unless I die, or you die, or you do anything at all to upset Boo. Now, does Boo see a question in your eye, or just a parasite poking through?
Давай на чистоту. Что у тебя с этим хомяком?
Well, Boo, explain yourself. Clear enough?
Давай серьезно, твой хомяк правда с тобой разговаривает?
There is nothing jestful in the bond between a ranger and his companion. Before Boo, I was a typical berserker of Rashomon. Duty-bound and full of my own seriousness. The problem with one so gazing of their navel, however, they are easily ambushed. Brigands split my skull like a sodden wineskin. It was as I recovered that Boo first appeared. He told me that I had felt the great poking finger of justice, marking Minsk as its champion and Boo as my guide. As for the headache, well, justice cannot always afford to be gentle.
Так ты паладин справедливости?
Do not be ridiculous. If any of us is chosen by the gods, it is obviously Boo. Now, shall we away? My boots crave the crunch of unvirtuous nethers.
Звучит странно, ладно. Когда наши мысли соединились, там было кое-что непонятно.
Oh, the mind of Minsk is a simple place. Of what strangeness do you speak?
The memories resurface. A lifetime of battles blurring into one. A single constant is Minsk, launching into the fray no matter the foe, be they god, monster, or man. It seems just the barest glimpse of what the man before you has seen and done, but enough to know that he has no right to still be alive.
Ah, wait! That look in your eye. I know exactly what visions of Minsk you have seen to cause you such wonder. My pants. Thrice laced, in the Rashomar style, so that a berserker might split skulls without fear of splitting breeches too. They are fiendishly complex, but fear not for Minsk. With training, he has learned to master the many little knots.
Так, все, хватит уже о своих штанах. Ты странствовал по разным мирам, сражался с богами.
Well,
Шо, Кратос?
as have you, no?
Тут бороды не
Do not
хватает.
forget that when you gaze into Minsk, Minsk also gazes into you. We both fight evil, wherever it is found. The who and where are less important than the hamsters you meet along the way. On this matter of sharing memories, I see no reason for us to worry at one another's worms. If there is more we wish to know, we can simply ask, no?
Ну, да. Ну, извини, я подозревала, что тебя смущает наше новое могущество.
Is it power? True, it has made Minsk strong. Boo can scarcely get comfortable, so firm has my physique grown. But what does the parasite take in return? It is a horror wrapped in honey. Stay your sweet tooth, says Boo.
Так, ну все. Так, что у нас тут? Мизора и Вилл хотят поговорить. Ну, давайте с Виллом сначала.
Hells, our time is short. My father is here, and by the living gods, I will free him.
Ты за... Что? Подожди. Он заражен. Ты уверен в своем решении?
Go. Retrieve the Duke. He may share in my protection.
Let's hurry.
А что, куда он меня? За драконом, типа?
What brings you by?
В смысле, тебя? Ты хочешь поговорить? Ну ладно. Так, берем Shadow Heart.
So Jaheira is willing to embrace mortality, the ultimate form of retirement, and that's thanks to impressing her through your actions. Quite the compliment.
Так, пойдем.
All right. Some company wouldn't.
Так, у нее уровень, давайте повысим. Кстати, ей бы уже... Так, а что нужно сделать, чтобы она могла пользоваться... Так она умеет. Луками она нормально. Если еще погибель. она красиво, так? Вот, длинные луки или боевое оружие. Мне бы самой, как бы, ну, научиться. О, ля-ля, бежит. То есть, если я кину мяч, допустим, где угодно, то Скрач прибежит. Ты ж моя хорошая зайчка.
Scratch's tail wags enthusiastically. Scratch's tongue
Не могу
lolls out
идти, не
happily.
погладив его. Ну,
His
не
tail
могу. Так, еще хотела продать всякое.
It is
Ой,
splendid
да, мы
to
с ним не
see you
разговаривали,
again,
после
my
того, как
friend.
спасли,
If you
походу.
hadn't saved me from that mob, I'd be penning a guide to the afterlife based on first-hand experience. Perhaps you would hazard a guess as to why the mob turned on me?
Я даже не знаю. Зная тебя, ты мог кого угодно разозлить чем угодно. А его повязали ребята Гарташи, наверное. Вообще, ну хотя... Я не помню. Я так понимаю, ты критиковал экс-герцога Гарташ, теперь он правит городом.
Pish-posh! That strutting tyrant has a long reach and a steel fist, but he's a puppy dog compared to the real horror that haunts our streets. The Lord of Murder has returned. As he did 100 years ago, Baal has set his accursed sights on Baldur's Gate. And his temple runs red with the blood of the innocent. Oren is his chosen. And like Sarevok before her, she is able to take on the savage form of the Slayer. If the Slayer is not stopped, it will slaughter every living thing in this city. As one of those things, I'm particularly eager to stop it. And there is a way. I have a study of the beast, penned by the wizard Irenicus himself. It contains all the knowledge needed to slay the Slayer. Now I just need a brave adventurer, willing to face Baal's chosen, and to put the knowledge into practice.
Ну, окей, наверное, это мы сделаем.
Wonderful! I can scarcely think of anyone more
Естественно,
suitable.
естественно.
It will serve you well. A study of the Slayer penned by John Irenicus. It's one of a kind, so do try to keep it away from the inevitable bloodbath.
И что еще за убийца?
The Dream Eater. It is said the children of Baal are claimed throughout their sleep, ever disturbed by visions of a life of bloodshed and terror. Once they have seen too much, once these dreams drive their minds to break, they are beset by the Slayer. It is a beast of unspeakable violence that consumes all in its path, including the soul of the one who is host to it.
Расскажи мне про Иреникуса.
A genius, exiled from his home in the elven paradise of Soldanessala, when he attempted to seize the power of life itself, he instead turned his magnificent mind to murder on a grand scale. That is how he came to crave the power of the Baal spawn. He saw them not as living things, but as tools for his own machinations. In the end, though Irenicus took the form of the Slayer for himself, it was a Baal spawn who thwarted him, the same that saved Baldur's Gate.
Ну, мне, наверное, мало одного кинжала, чтобы одолеть избранницу Бала.
Quite so. I was rather hoping you'd gathered all the rest of the adventuring paraphernalia yourself. You'll need every advantage.
Ну, избранника Меркула я уже одолела, с этим тоже разберусь.
I am a living witness to Baal's defeat those 100 years ago. So I know your battle against him is not futile. He can be stopped, but not all of those who stood against him survived. And those who did were never the same again. I wish you luck, my friend. And I hope that when I see you again, you'll be in one piece. 2 or 3 at most.
Касательно убийцы. Так, ну-ка, я хочу на это посмотреть. Прочесть. Хоть до сих пор это дитя Бала растрачивало свой дар нечестивой крови зря, похоже, что от плети Бала не уйти, суровый бог наделил его сущностью убийцы, провокатора и зверя. Когда дитя Бала обратится, его разум окажется сломлен, куда сильнее, чем могли бы сломать его все мои пытки. Все это время я проводил над пленным отродьем свои эксперименты, пытаясь извлечь из него больше даров Бала, но убийца — это дело его собственных рук. Похоже, что он проявляет момент чистой ненависти, божественной ненависти, которую стремительно по крови не суждено постичь. Когда дитя Бала ненавидит так, как это угодно его владыке, сам Бал снисходит к нему в образе своего аватара. Несмотря на все, что отродье Бала из вечной цитадели сделала, чтобы помешать возвышению Севарока, похоже, отец любил его так сильно, что готов вмешаться от его имени. Может быть, если я продолжу поглощать божественную сущность, извлеченную, пока дитя Бала был у меня в плену, я смогу заставить магию Бала бежать в моей собственной крови. Я обману бога дурака, заставлю думать, что я тоже вхожу в число его детей. Так что я могу приручить зверя для себя. Далее в книге подробно описываются попытки и прячется в убийцу. А что? Ну, я просто прочитал книжку, окей.
Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all as accurately as possible.
Ладно, сейчас я продаю всякое, что мне завалялось, не нужно, и тогда мы с вами в город отправимся и продолжим.